Now, before I can actually make any kind of podcast episode for you guys, I want to explain one thing. Have you guys heard about Anchor? It's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain how. 1, it's free. 2, there's just many tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer. And it'll distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and other things like iTunes and such. You can make more money from your podcast regardless on how much you have already. So it's like extra money. Hello, who doesn't like free money? And then, it's everything you need to make a podcast all in one spot. So whenever you can, just download the free Anchor app at, your iTunes store, your Apple store, or your Google Play store, or go to anchor.fm to get started. Thanks, y'all. Good morning, my beautiful souls. Hope you are doing beautifully. Yes. Today we are doing a story from Dark Fairy Tales, which was published in 2018 by the two sisters. I don't know who the two sisters are, so I can't give you that answer. But I'm gonna give it a few moments for everybody to arrive. The story that we're reading today is Strangers in the Woods. I am not sure exactly what this story is about, but we're going to find out. Yes. Okay. I get comfortable. I'm sorry. Coolio, Dulio, Shulio, Woolio, whoa. So, yeah. Hello to you, Sire J and Courtney Downs. Good morning, buenos nachos, tacos, and quesadillas. Today I'm going to be reading a story from Dark Fairy Tales, which was published by the two sisters in 2018. The one chapter that I'm going to read in here is called Strangers in the Woods. Okay. I couldn't put everything inside the actual title here because it wouldn't fit. It's like, we're rocking it still. It's all good. It's all cool peas, butter beans with a side of French toast or cornbread, however it flows. Okay. So, just bear with me, guys. Bear with me. Make sure that everything working fine. Strangers in the Woods. Now, if you had a had a guess, basically, I'm guessing it's something about the woods. It sounds a little bit like Red Riding Hood, doesn't it? Just a tad. It sounds a little bit just like Red Riding Hood, but I don't think it is. If I'm looking at the other chapters, they have they have a chapter called "Oh Red, Look How Big You've Grown." So that must mean that this is something else besides. It just seems like the perfect story. Okay, well, while we're waiting on a few more people, I'm gonna read what they have about the two sisters, right? Two Sisters is a pseudonym used by two sisters, Stephanie Barnes and Emma Marie Mills. Steph is the author and Emma is the illustrator of this collection. As they're both passionate about their individual crafts, they wanted to collaborate together and create their own fairy tales. Now about Steph. Steph knew she wanted to write her own stories and when she was 7 years old, after she finished reading J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. Since then, she's been writing fantasy stories and film scripts whenever she can, as she's a strong admirer of the Brothers Grimm and Angela Carter's fairy tales. She was inspired to create her own. Steph was shortlisted in the 2015 Adult Fairy Tale competition in the Writing magazine. She was a second rounder in the 2016 Austin Film Festival Screenplay Competition and a quarterfinalist in the 2017 Screencraft Screenwriting Fellowship Competition. Now about Emma. Ever since being at primary school, Emma has dedicated much of her time drawing on paper and on her computer. While studying hard towards her GCSEs, she has worked to develop her skills as an artist. Her drawings and style are inspired by horror films and dark stories. Emma originally did her illustrations for this collection in digital, but after she experimented with ink drawing techniques at school, she decided to redo all her images in pen. Now that was just that explains who whose two sisters are. So now let's go back to who's being okay. Go there. So today we are who do we have here? Oh, we have Akim. I was just reading about the two sisters. Those are the two authors in the.
How far did you get?
I haven't started yet, actually.
Oh, good. I just saw the notification.
Yeah. I was just reading about the two sisters, like who the two sisters are and what they were like, how they grew.
Okay. I heard you earlier on Kudos, and you came up
Uh,
and tried to sing me back into the queue.
yeah. Did you like it?
I finally got, yes, your voice is lovely as usual. I finally got back up on there um, at the end, and then Graciela came in after me. So this is
um, Let
Storytime
me
with
let you
Izzii
know.
and
Yeah, let me
Rocco,
let you.
Dark
What?
Fairy Tales. Okay.
Yeah, but the story that I'm reading is called Strangers in the Woods. I just couldn't fit it in
Okay.
here.
Yeah, of course. Strangers in the
And
Woods. Huh.
yeah.
Okay, either be scary or spicy.
It might be both. Might be a little more
Well,
spicy than scary. I'm not
I
sure. I haven't read it at all.
I think it's going to be scary.
You think
I
so?
vote scary. I vote scary.
I vote both. I don't know why. I feel like it has a little spice to the scariness.
Uh, oh, well, there's a Spice Girl named Scary Spice.
Yes. There is.
If you
Oh,
want
I'll
to
tell you
be
what
my
you
lover.
want.
Yo, when I first saw that video, I was so stoned out of my mind. And it came, can you imagine me seeing that stone, right? And all of a sudden, so tell me what you really want. And then just like jumping around, shaking her head, with her afro bouncing back and forth. I'm like, what the hell is happening right now? So here's the
Yeah.
story from A to Z. You want to get with me? You gotta.
Oh, let's
Oh
get
my
Feliz
God.
in place in the. Sorry.
It was ridiculous. If you want to be my lover.
Gotta get
I
with
was
my
freaking.
friends. If you want forever, friends should never. Friendship does end, but just not,
It's a great song.
It is. It is.
I was just thinking about things that end.
Like end. Like the word end.
Mm,
It ends.
END. Well,
Um.
you're doing all right tonight?
Yeah.
All right. Um,
I've been thinking about food for thoughts for some reason tonight, and I thought they were pretty
yeah.
cool.
Well, I'm glad that you're doing all right, at least.
You doing okay too?
Yes.
As well? Yay!
So you're gonna read what's the story called? Two Strangers in the Woods, right?
No, it's called Strangers in the Woods.
Oh, Strangers in the Woods. I thought you said Two Strangers in the Woods. Just Strangers in the Woods.
Oh no,
Okay.
I was just talking about the two sisters because that's what the ebook says
Oh,
on here.
right. That's what I got confused. I
It's
apologize.
okay. It's okay.
All right. Well,
He had a Sarah moment.
I'm here to listen and give support. So
Yay!
here I am. You're
Your
listening to
slices of bread are
Storytime
always
with Izzii.
that's me.
All right. Strangers in the Woods. Storytime with Izzii and Rocco.
Yes.
Dark Fairy Tales 2018 ebook. Strangers in the Woods. All right. I'm listening.
Thank you. Thank you. I love your
Later.
slices of bread.
Love you. Later. I'll be here.
Love you later. Okay. Annabelle was always cautious when she journeyed through the woods. From the moment she could walk and wander the lands beyond her home, her parents warned her about the dangers that could be found in the woods. Now, there are many strangers who wander the woods, her mother said. It's important to be wary of who you meet. Her father agreed. Being wary and cautious is good, but you need to determine friend from foe. Villains are rather cunning, so you have to be wise, my dear Annabelle. Despite the warnings about the woods, many folk traveled through them. Most of the time, people came out unscathed, but there were times where some were never seen again. Annabelle always tried to avoid venturing through the woodland. Even though it took her an extra couple of hours to reach town, she often took the long the long beaten road around the trees instead so she did not have to go through. However, on this particular day, Annabelle knew she would have to tread through the woods to make it home before dark. If there was one thing Annabelle feared more than the woods, it was the dark. As Annabelle stood on the threshold of the dark woods, she reached into her basket and felt the reassuring touch of a wooden baton. When she told her friend Cecily she would be taking the woodland path home, Cecily gave her the baton and said, I agree, it's only a small thing, but this blunt club will take any harmful stranger by surprise. Be careful and be wary, my friend. At first, Annabelle felt silly for taking the baton, but now that she held it in her basket as she watched the woods, it was reassuring. It was turn the page. Nope. Here we go. Here we go. Why are this is not this isn't making sorry y'all. So sorry. Let's try this again. There we go. Alright. Annabelle glanced at the setting sun. Knowing she could not waste another minute loitering, she started walking. Within minutes, she lost sight of the town behind her and was surrounded by towering towering trees. Annabelle walked fast but made sure to tread carefully and quietly. She certainly did not want to attract anyone's attention. The woods were quiet. While Annabelle felt her heart thunder in her chest, she tried her best to resist the temptation to run. Running increased the risk of a fall or an injury. Suffering an injury in the woods would make her the perfect prey for a stranger with sinister intentions. She had to remain calm. She knew she would be home soon, warm and safe by the fireplace. It was not long, barely 10 minutes, when Annabelle heard a noise behind her. She did not stop to listen, but she was sure there were footsteps. Swift, scratching steps upon the dry earth. Trying to swallow her fear, Annabelle reached a tentative hand behind or inside her basket and gripped the baton. As the steps drew closer, louder, she stopped and turned around. A few feet away stood a fox. The ginger fox wore a patterned cap simple pair of linen trousers and a pale yellow jacket. A fresh dandelion peeked out of his chest pocket. The hairs around his jaws were trimmed finely, and even the hair upon his head had been combed back. The fox rose onto his hind legs, took off his cap, and bowed, pushing his tail as he did. "How do you do?" the fox said politely. Annabelle bowed her head politely too, but she did not utter a word. Foxes were supposedly sly creatures devoted entirely to tricking and stealing. The fox gazed at her with amber eyes. His button nose twitched as he asked, "Are you lost, miss?" "No, sir," Annabelle said. "Are you sure? It's rare to find a young woman wandering so deep in the woods, especially at such a late hour. If you wish, I can accompany you and help you safely home." The fox offered his paw. "No, thank you." Annabelle took a step back. Her hand tightened on the baton inside her basket. "I'm following the path home, where I live with my mother and father and my many brothers." "Many brothers? How many?" "Sorry." "7, and they're all hunters, big strong hunters." Annabelle lied. She had one brother, and he was still an infant, not yet strong enough to lift an axe. "Oh," the fox said, startled. All the hairs on his chin seemed to stand on their ends. Stories about foxes and hunters never. Sorry, y'all. Mm. The fox stepped back as he said, "Well, I won't delay you any further. I'm sorry if I frightened you, miss. I only wanted to help." With that, the fox bobbed his head, dropped onto his forepaws, and scampered away. Annabelle waited until she could no longer see his ginger tail before releasing her hardened grip on the baton and continued along the path. Minutes after her encounter with the fox, she did feel a little foolish and rude for the way he had treated him, or she had treated him. He did not threaten her. In fact, he had offered to help her, and yet she had. Wait, I just said that. Oh, she had threatened him. Perhaps she had been wrong about the fox. However, as she thought about it some more, she remembered the importance of being wary in the woods. Suddenly, Annabelle stopped. The sound was faint, but Annabelle knew she was not imagining it. She could hear scratching. Her mind thought of a hard bristle brush rubbing against stone. The scratching grew louder, faster, and closer. Annabelle did not hesitate. She ran. Clutching a tight hold of her basket, she ran along the path. She did not dare to look back. She feared her heart would burst if she saw what horror chased her. The menacing scratching drew closer. Annabelle was sure she felt sharp hairs scratching against her neck. She dashed around. she she dashed around a tree, screaming with absolute terror as she crashed into someone. The collision forced her and the stranger onto the ground, and her basket fell from her hand. Slightly dazed and holding her head, Annabelle started. "I'm sorry. I..." Annabelle stopped. The stranger she had crashed into slowly rose onto his hind legs. His powerful paws crunched on the broken bits of branches, and his muscular body towered over her as he stood tall at almost 2 meters. His charcoal fur was mostly hidden beneath his dark navy suit, but nothing concealed the size and truth of the wolf's face. Annabelle gazed up at the wolf, unable to think, unable to breathe. The wolf's snout wrinkled as he drew a wide smile and bowed smoothly. "It should be I who must apologize. I wasn't watching where I was going." The wolf chuckled. "To be honest, I was not expecting anyone to come running towards me like terror was chasing them. Are you all right?" The wolf offered his large paw to help Annabelle up. She glanced at it and scrambled to her feet without aid. I'm fine, she said quietly. She grabbed her basket and stepped back from the wolf. I'm sorry for charging into you, but I must be going. What's the matter? The wolf asked, concerned. He seemed sincere. You poor thing, you look absolutely terrified. The wolf took a step towards her. Annabelle took 4 back. She reached a trembling hand into her basket. I'm not going to hurt you. The wolf did not take another step. His tail grazed the forest floor behind him, scratching against the dead autumn leaves. The same scratching sound Annabelle was sure she had heard minutes ago. Were you... Annabelle stammered. Were you following me? Excuse me? The wolf frowned. What are you suggesting? That I followed and terrorized a young woman through the woods? You insult me, miss. The wolf crossed his arms and looked away, clearly insulted. Annabelle took a deep breath and stepped carefully around him. She said, I apologize if I offended you, but I must be on my way. Wait. The wolf took her arm, his claws pressed roughly against her skin. Annabelle winced at the foul stench of his breath and his sharp, pale teeth. The wolf looked around the forest as he said, If you thought someone was following you, I will gladly accompany you the rest of the way through the forest. No one would dare threaten you with me by your side. No, Annabelle said. She pulled away from the wolf. She did not trust him whatsoever. While he did act like a gentleman, she could not forget the stories she had heard about wolves. They prowled in the shadows and tore families apart, figuratively and physically speaking. The wolf blinked, clearly taken back by Annabelle's tone, but he was not easily dissuaded. Please, miss, it's no trouble on my part to accompany you. I would not want to see any harm befall you in the woods. Cunning and terrible creatures linger in the dark. He reached for her again. Please, let me accompany you. I said no. Annabelle tore the baton from her basket and raised it over her head. I want you to leave me alone. The wolf raised his paws defensively and staggered back. He gasped. Lady, I did not mean to scare you. I was only trying to help. That's what you say, but you're a stranger. I don't know you and you don't know me. How can I trust you? And you're also a... Annabelle looked away from the wolf. I want you to leave me be. I see. Pain flickered across the wolf's face as he turned away and fell into his forepaws. He looked back at Annabelle once more as he said, I understand it's important to be cautious around strangers, but please know that not all wolves are wicked. Some of us are kind gentlemen who would offer a friendly paw to a stranger in need. The wolf bowed his head and said, Good day, miss. The wolf bounded into the woods, and within seconds, Annabelle lost sight of his smart navy suit. She lowered her baton and returned it into her basket. She looked around the forest, fearful the wolf would suddenly reappear and attack, but there was no one, no sound, only her, standing alone in the woods. Annabelle started along the path again. The wolf's words lingered in her mind. She did feel harsh for the way she had treated the wolf and the fox, but she believed it best to be wary of any stranger she met along the way. Even if the wolf and the fox were smartly dressed and acted like gentlemen, they were still strangers. The forest grew steadily darker. Annabelle could barely see the setting sun through the trees. She increased her pace, hoping she would get home and shut the door behind her by the time the sun had finished for the day. Annabelle stopped again. She thought she was imagining it, but she knew her mind was not playing tricks on her. She could hear scratching, the same sound she had heard before. The image of the wolf's tail brushing against the dry leaves flashed in Annabelle's mind, and she broke into a run. That terrible, terrible wolf, she thought. Wolves enjoy the excitement of a chase. She wished she had hit the wolf now. She wished she had hit the wolf now. It may have deterred him from coming after her. The scratching grew louder. Annabelle was sure she could see something moving in the branches. She kept her focus on the path, and only the path. Her lungs burned. Her legs begged her to stop, but she didn't dare. In the distance, she could see light seeping through the trees. She was almost home. As Annabelle looked away from her path, her foot caught on a root She fell through the air and tumbled across the ground. Annabelle cried as a throbbing pain shot down her leg and blood soaked through her sock. "Oh my, you poor dear!" Annabelle looked up and found a beautiful young lady, dressed in a white lace gown. The lady's silver curls flowed beneath her delicate bonnet. She held an intricately webbed parasol over her pale face. Without a doubt, she was the most beautiful woman Annabelle had ever seen. Her skin was like polished ivory. The faintest hint of rose pink bloomed on her cheeks, while a vibrant rose red colored her lips. The lady almost dropped her parasol as she scurried over to Annabelle. "Are you hurt? When I saw you fly through the trees, I thought something awful had happened. Oh my gosh, you're bleeding." As the lady tried to dab Annabelle's leg with a very fine handkerchief, Annabelle looked behind her. She could see nothing and hear nothing. Had she imagined a pursuer? Perhaps the woods were playing tricks on her. "I'm fine, miss." Annabelle attempted to stand, but her ankles shuddered under her weight. "Come here. Let me help you," the woman said as she wrapped an arm around Annabelle. "Please, I wouldn't want to ruin your clothes." Annabelle tried to pull away. She was covered in dirt. The thought of ruining the lady's fine clothes felt unforgivable. "I'm almost home. I can make it. I cannot possibly leave you out here alone." The woman smiled warmly. "I don't live far from here either. It would be no trouble at all." "Very well. Thank you for your kindness," Annabelle said as she was so relieved when the lady took her arm over her shoulder. It was so nice to take the weight off her ankle. The lovely lady, or the lovely woman, half carried Annabelle along the path. She noticed Annabelle's basket. "Here, let me carry it for you." Before Annabelle could resist, the lady took the basket under her arm while she supported Annabelle with the other. The lady's brown eyes were almost ebony, and they gleamed as she smiled. "You looked so terrified when I found you," said the lady. "What happened?" Annabelle told the lady about her encounters with the fox and the wolf. The woman listened intently, and when Annabelle finished her tale, she murmured, "Wolves are troublesome beasts. They always put their snouts where it doesn't belong. I'm glad I've never had to face one. You must have been so frightened." "I was," Annabelle admitted. "But what are you doing out in the woods alone?" The young woman smiled at her as she said, "My family's dinner table looked rather bare, so I thought I'd go out and find something more appetizing. It's surprising what you can find in the woods." Annabelle was surprised to hear a woman as finely dressed as her was forced to go out and find food. Did she not have servants to do that kind of work for her? Annabelle started to smile as she saw a familiar shape through the trees. Her family's house. It was an old stone cottage. The front door needed a fresh coat of paint. The cold wind often blew through the cracks in the stone, and the roof had a habit of leaking, but she was so relieved to see it all again. "Thank you, miss," Annabelle began. "I could travel the rest of the way home by myself. Thank you again." Annabelle tried to pull her arm, but found it stuck. As Annabelle looked, she noticed her arm was caught on the lady's dress. The white lace had managed to thread itself around her arm. She tried to tug it free, but the strands were strong and did not stretch. The lady spoke softly. "I cannot possibly let you wander through the woods alone. Imagine what terrible strangers you may encounter." Annabelle looked at the woman's face and shrieked. Instead of 2 eyes, there were 4. Suddenly, another 4 dark eyes appeared. All 8 eyes blinked as the woman smiled, showing her sharp fangs. She threw Annabelle's basket on the ground. The baton flew out. The woman gripped Annabelle tightly. "I was lucky the wolf found you first. Otherwise, you could have hit me with that foul club of yours. It's useless to you now. All the way over there." Annabelle tried to pull away, but the woman's dress was threading around her waist, her shoulders, making it impossible to pull away. Beneath the lady's skirts, long, pale legs sprouted out, lifting the woman higher until all 8 legs dug into the ground. She's The lady held Annabelle's face as she grinned. "Nobody can help you now. You would have been better off letting the fox or wolf accompany you. They would have seen you safely home to your family, while I am more interested in seeing my family is properly fed." Annabelle looked up. The trees swayed as creatures scratched through the trees, staring at her with hungry, dark eyes. She screamed and fought, but it did not matter. She was trapped in a lady's web. It's a pity the strong hunters you call brothers are not here. The woman laughed. You really should be wary of the strangers you meet in the woods. At that, the spiders leapt down and enjoyed their feast. That was The Strangers in the Woods. So, I guess we found out that basically she should have just let the wolf or the fox take her home. Oh, wow. Big spiders, y'all. Big spiders. Now I see why she was in the woods by herself, looking all pretty like and everything with a white dress and all. Cheese and crackers. Mm-mm. So it had a little bit of spice to its horrorness. Good morning, sir.
Watch your step there. Right. Y'all have a good time.
Thanks.
It's. I mean, it's kind of light too. You can go check it out. It's kind of light. The last time I saw.
So what do you think? Was it more scary?
Hey.
Hey,
Hi.
hi.
That was a cool story.
That was, wasn't
Um,
it?
there wasn't really any big climax though. Like,
Hmm,
it was an interesting. What would you call that?
I don't. Um. Uh. Twist?
Yeah.
No, not really. No, not a twist.
Yeah. I mean,
'Cause
I don't know.
I
Ironic.
don't know what you think.
Cool story.
I thought.
I
I
like your
thought that the wolf or the fox was just gonna be like, I don't know.
gonna bite
I
her
felt
face
fine
off.
with them. I would have been fine with them.
Yeah. You know.
That one. Mm-mm.
Oh, go ahead. So what was the conclusion here? What happened?
Uh, I'm not. What do you think? Do you think it was more scary or spicy or both?
Well, what was that last line?
Um. Oh, that the It said the. Oh my god. Hold up. Give me a second. Sorry. I lost it. It just kept freezing on me. I was but it did say, where is it at? At last, at that, the spiders leapt down and enjoyed their feast. So basically, it said you should really be wary of the strangers you meet in the woods. That's what the
Yeah, she
woman
got
said.
eaten by spiders.
All of spiders, yes. So her and her family were a family of spiders, and she was just right there at her house, right there. She was right
Man, that's messed up. So, but but I liked when you were reading and the fox. Oh, he's oh not wait the wolf is like not all wolves are wicked.
Yeah, it's right here actually. It was cause excuse me. Oh Lord have mercy. Where did it? Where's? Oh man. Okay, I think I found it. He says, "Oh, she got mad. Said I said no." Okay, yeah. He said, "I understand it's important to be cautious around strangers, but please know that not all wolves are wicked. Some of us
Yeah.
are kind gentlemen who would offer a friendly paw to a stranger in need."
I like how as he's walking away, he pauses for a second and looks back and then bows his head
Mm-hmm.
like he's all like sad and then walks off. Like
He
the
bowed
way
his
you
head
read
and
it.
just said, all he could say was, "Good day, miss."
Yeah, good day, miss. Yeah, you know
Man.
what's really interesting is I talk to everybody like that, and I think that's why everybody thinks I'm in the military or I was like or like special forces or something because I address everybody as like as sir and ma'am and miss, and like even like little kids, right? Like especially like when I was at the bookstore, there was
Mm-hmm.
a couple of teenage girls, and they were in my way, and I said, "Excuse me, young miss, can I please pass by?"
I usually just say, "Excuse me, ma'am," or "sir." I don't know. I like your
I
way
like to
better.
say
I'm gonna start doing that.
young sir or young miss,
Youngster.
because
Ah,
because the um the whole young miss thing was there was a movie called Serenity that was based off of a TV show called Firefly, which I never watched a TV show, but Chiwetel
They sound
Ejiofor,
familiar, but I don't remember.
mm, Chiwetel Ejiofor, the main character, the main villain in Serenity, um, he said to a lady, he's like, "Young Miss, can you please tell me?" Like, I just like the way he says it with his British accent and everything. Young Miss,
Oh my god, that sounds beautiful. I want
he's
to
like,
watch it.
young Miss. Yeah, Serenity is a really good movie. It's good because it's an action thriller, comedy, suspense. So it's got all those cool elements in it. A lot of funny,
Mhm.
but a lot
Yay,
of interesting intrigue and a
funny.
little bit of conspiracy theory stuff thrown in there to boot.
Oh Lord.
So,
Oh, that
mm,
sounds interesting. It sounds juicy. I would
so
like it.
I would watch the movie Serenity and then maybe watch the TV show Firefly. Only because I've never watched Firefly, so I don't know what it's like.
I never even heard of Firefly or Serenity. I heard I know Serenity of a being a like a
A
hospital
State
over
of
there in
Being.
Augusta.
Oh, but Bethesda Hospital, Serenity Hospital.
Yeah, it's a mental hospital, a mental institution in Augusta.
Oh, seems like it. Sounds like someplace
Well, it's not
very
like a mental. It's
deceiving.
like a rehab place kind of thing. I feel,
Mm, okay,
yeah.
because I've never heard a
But
mental
they work.
institution called
They do well.
Serenity. Okay.
I like Serenity. I like the name or the sound of. Oh my God. Reset lips. Reset lips. There you go. Phew. Okay. I like the
I know
word
I'm cold. It's
Serenity.
fucking cold out here right now.
Yes. Think of it. Think of a nice warm beach.
Actually,
That's
I'm about to think of fucking flame on real quick. Yo, I started to do this Mahamudra, tantric Mahamudra meditation, and I had to stop a little bit because I started having hot flashes even when I wasn't practicing. So like the tantric Mahamudra meditation is based off of from what I learned. So first of all, years ago I learned about these monks in the Himalayas who do a meditation that they can make their body get up to feverish temperatures and melt the snow around them. And they were doing this in order to combat the cold because they live in the cold, icy mountains. So then, just very recently, I read an article in Neuroscience News about
octopuses.
how they fig no, in Neuroscience News about the same research that was done on these monks, but they started figuring out some of the neurological connections about how they do it. So there's something called the parasympathetic nervous system, and most meditation falls under that category. Most meditation falls under the category whereas where they're meditating and you calm yourself down. So the parasympathetic nervous system is meant to calm you down, right?
Okay.
And that's what most people do when they're relaxing. However, arousal or heightened states of consciousness where you get all like fight or flighty, right? That's the sympathetic nervous system. And
Yeah.
the neuroscience researchers were surprised to find that these monks, in their meditation, they were actually activating that. Like even though they looked calm and relaxed on the outside, they were actually increasing their heart rate, increasing their body temperature, increasing all those things that made it seem like they were preparing for fight or flight. So, and this was because they were doing a tantric Mahamudra meditation. And the tantric Mahamudra meditation, part of it consists of them visualizing and imagining themselves as a deity or as a god that has all these powers and all the things that go with that. And so I was immediately able to relate to that because my really good friend Christine had introduced me years ago because she's a Buddhist who practices mostly Tibetan Buddhism. She
Mhm.
introduced me to a book called Becoming the Compassion Buddha. And it's one of the only Buddhas that I know by name. I don't think I know any of the Buddhas by name. This Buddha, the Compassion Buddha, is Avalokiteshvara. At least that's how I pronounce it. I don't know how it's pronounced, but it's spelled Avalokiteshvara. Um, and I realized very early on in starting to read it and starting to look at those texts like that, becoming the compassion Buddha, that basically what happens is it's like a story like the Bible, right? Where you read and you learn about like Jesus, for example, right? And so basically it comes down to this idea, what would Jesus do, right? And so the
Yeah.
idea is that you follow and try to be like Jesus. So in this book, it's how to be like, welcome back, ladies. I don't remember her. Does she have your ID?
What?
How did that feel getting that tattoo on your foot?
I want to know.
Yeah. Okay. All right. There you go. Have
For
fun,
some
lady.
reason, I really wanted the tattoo on my foot, but I got scared. I'm scared too.
Yo, that girl just broke down all kinds of stuff to me. And while she was looking at me all sensual, she's like, "Did you hear her?" I was like, "How did it feel to get that tattoo on your foot?" She's like, "A little bit of everything, to be honest." She's like, "It hurt. I didn't feel nothing.
That's
It
what she
felt good."
said. I
And
couldn't
she's
hear
like,
it very. I couldn't
she's
hear her
like,
very well on my side.
she's like, and it turned me on a little bit too, And I was like, "What the
Oh
hell?"
God. Oh God. Okay.
A little bit of everything, to be honest. Like, damn, I just got the breakdown at the front door. Like a little bit of everything, to be honest. Like, damn.
That was just all. She was just giving you
I
all
knew
of
she
it.
was about to
Okay.
go. I knew she was about to go there too. And she was like, a little bit of everything, to be honest. And just when she started looking at me, and she's like, it hurt. It felt good. It didn't feel like nothing at all. It kind of turned me on a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I was like,
Mm-mm.
okay, go on this side.
Okay, I might.
Come
That bitch is even getting a foot tattoo now. Mm-mm.
on. Watch out for those foot tattoos on the top of your instep, people, because
Unless you already have one, then I mean, hey,
then apparently it's a little bit everything, to be honest.
gives you a little bit of pleasure, pain, and glory. What
Mm,
is that?
man,
Is that a book?
I might have to talk to her when she comes back out here.
Turn into
Can
a
I tattoo
soldier.
your other foot? Like, can I tattoo your?
Ooh,
Sounds like a
I wonder.
sounds like a relationship, right? Pain, pleasure, nothing,
Pain, pleasure, and all. Hmm.
a little bit of everything.
Hmm. Oh wow.
Um,
Nope. Still not
yeah,
doing it. Nope.
good times with the story reading. What's next? Is it so all these stories like Cinderella is evil and this other stuff is it this all in the same book?
It's all in the same. It's an app that I have that I found
Hmm.
on the well in the app store, of course. It's called Free Book or Free. Wait, hold up. Let me make sure. Free Books. Yeah, I was right. Okay.
See, this is one
And it
of the
gives you
reasons
all
I
the
love you, Sarah, because you're always finding cool shit to read, and you've written like a bunch of awesome stories yourself, and you have like all this really cool stuff. Like people who are into reading, man, it's like the best thing ever. Like
yes.
I have an
They
addiction
have
to books.
like if you okay if you download free books, right? They have a nonfiction and a fiction side. For the nonfiction side, they have like human science, autobiography and biography, history, religion, social science, science and techniques. All this stuff is so awesome.
Hmm. Okay, so it's just called free books.
Yes,
God, man,
free book.
what about freezing books? It's freaking cold out here. Dude, I got my hands in my pocket with a pocket full of shells. All right, around the family. With a pocket full of shells. My hands are cold as.
I'm sorry.
I
I
could
think
go
I'm trying to.
inside, but
I just keep on thinking about like a warm beach, laying on the sun or sitting on the sun, however it goes, getting a tan,
well,
somewhat kind of
I
circle,
don't want you to explode from spontaneous human combustion, but I think it might be better if you imagine yourself glowing with heat like a
like a phoenix.
yeah, that's a little bit much. No, more like a
No,
you know how the metal on those electric stoves get really red hot? Like that. Because I think
yeah,
if you
so
imagine
that
yourself
like
like a
when
phoenix on fire, you might like blow up. Or actually catch on fire, which might not be good.
no, that wouldn't be good. Okay. I feel that. I feel that.
Listen to how confidently I'm talking about this as if like this is something that just happens to people. That they start imagining being warm and they fucking explode, right? That's how delusional my mind is. Like I just started talking about this
Dang,
stuff and I'm
Hakeem,
just like
okay.
showing I'm like, hey, you know what? Don't get too carried away with thinking of yourself as a phoenix there, Sarah, because you might explode.
But think about it this way though. The phoenix is fully warm. It's fully warm right
But how
then
do
and
you
there.
know that? How do you know that though? Who
I
told you that?
I
Did the
don't
ever
I
you
don't know. I don't
how
know.
many Phoenix do you know besides
Carletta, you
Carletta
know her?
Carey?
She said
You tell me
uh,
about all these Phoenix you know, okay?
I
And
tell
I
you all
will
the
tell
feelings
you.
I know, and you tell me all the feelings you know. Okay? Don't tell me
You
that you
tell me about
don't.
the Phoenix. If you know
And
about
yeah,
all these different Phoenix
the phoenix.
and how they're about to
Look,
explode.
I was going through the these books, and then look at that, birds of a feather.
What? Was it another story in there?
Oh yeah, there's so many stories in here, like for real.
Man,
I can.
that's
It
what's
tells you
up.
how many books is in each genre and all that stuff. It's awesome.
All right. I'm definitely gonna have to download that now because I right now I have a backpack
Backpack,
full
backpack.
with three books in it. Two giant freaking books. One is called the math book. One is called the physics book, and I have a King James Bible now in its own little like bag
What?
of itself.
Physics book.
And
First you got the math book,
and
then
dude,
you got the
no,
physics.
and this is yeah, and because I'm stupid like that, I can't help it with the fucking
You're not
books.
stupid.
It's like,
You're not stupid like
but
that. Who said that?
but now, but
Who
now
said that?
because my I said it. But listen, but now because my backpack is full, I know that I'm not going to buy anymore, in the store for a while because I know that I've learned to discipline myself over the years. So I got a King James Bible. I got two awesome science books. I got a math book and a physics book, which to me are the foundations of what I need to continue to understand. I have Katya Davidova's book, Joy in Plain Sight. I got a couple notebooks. I got
Mm-hmm.
my broadcasting kit. I got my two mobile devices, and
You just prepared
all the
all the
headphones and
way.
everything I need. Yeah, so no matter where I go now, I'm set. Like I'm not going to be bored. I'm not going to have, I'm not going to be lacking anything. If I just keep that kit with me, that's my kit, right? That's my kit. I got my kit, and
Mm.
if you ask somebody like, let's see, Jillian Jarasmic, she might know about a kit like from being in the Marines. Like so, I just have my kit that I go everywhere. That's like my, and so now I know that when I go to Barnes and Nobles, I'm not gonna go crazy anymore in there. I might browse different books, but I have enough to keep me occupied.
Keep
So
you yeah, I was about to say occupied.
yeah, ocupado.
I don't know if that's the word.
El baño es ocupado.
Oh, I
Hey,
know.
do you remember?
I need to go
Hey,
to that.
listen, you ever hear? Did you ever watch the movie Encino Man? With
Mm.
what's his name? Paul something, Pauly Shore, whatever I forget. Anyway, there's a scene in there where
Oh,
he's trying to speak
Polly D
Spanish.
from Jersey Shore.
No, Pauly Shore, an actor named Pauly Shore. What the heck are you talking about? I don't watch no Jersey Shore.
I
Yeah,
was.
the first time I ever saw anything from Jersey Shore, I was like, who the hell are these freaking idiots? And like that, and then that little tan girl that came from there. Oh my God, it was just the most
Nikki.
disgusting thing I've ever seen. I was like, I for real, like, there's very few things that make me actually want to vomit, but like visually, and that was one of them. The other day, like I smelled some really nasty funk inside the bathroom, and I felt like I was gonna puke. That's what that show, for some reason, invoked in me. Like it gave me a nauseous response, and that's very rare. Anyway,
That's
so
horrible.
yeah, it is horrible. So in this movie, there was a line, and you speak Spanish, right? So the line, the guy they went into this place, and there were like a bunch of Spanish speaking people. I don't know if they were Mexican or what, but they had like all the tattoos. They looked like all gangster, right?
Mm-hmm.
It just reminded me of living in LA with all my Mexican friends. And then they were like, he goes, el queso es he goes, el queso es viejo y podrido. ¿A dónde es el baño? it's like it's like speaking Spanish.
What is
El
it? Why the
queso,
hell is he? What cheese is he talking about?
I don't know. There's nothing. El queso es viejo y podrido. El dónde es el baño? ¿A dónde es el baño? So for y'all don't speak Spanish, that means the cheese is old and moldy. Where is the bathroom?
You're nuts. Oh God. What is this? What is this? What the cheese
I'm
is
like, whoa, cheese is old, podrido. It was the first time I heard mold. I was like, oh, that's how you say moldy. Very good. Good to know, Haki. Good to know. Thank you, Encino Man, or whatever the movie was. I forget. One of the movies.
what in the world? What?
Yep, you heard it here.
Oh God.
The cheese is old and moldy. Where's the bathroom? So I say that to some
Where's
people
the
sometimes
bathroom?
just as a joke. El queso es
Um,
viejo y podrido.
if you're that's just random. That's so random right there.
It is pretty random. So, it's as random as like,
Question:
yep.
is there like a genre or a kind of well really a genre that you would like to hear next or anybody on here would like to hear an after or the next one story time with Izzii and Rocco or
I don't know.
Izzii?
You seem to make pretty good picks. for the stories. Oh, did I miss you reading freaking Socrates' Publicist?
No, I can't find the book right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was trying to say that's why I'm using this right now until I can find it. It's
So
my
when you say
fault.
find it,
I'm looking
what do you
for it.
mean? Did you misplace it somewhere?
See, I don't know if I left it somewhere or if I put it in one of these bags that I haven't like looked through all the way, or
Okay.
I'm looking for it.
All right.
I'm looking for it like I'm looking for my mind to remember. It's around. I feel like it's around. It's got to be around. I know. I'm hoping I really did. I'm really hoping I didn't leave it anywhere. I just forgot it. Where's my feelings?
Hmm.
Feelings are. I hurt my own
All right. So
feelings.
what's next? What's next for you? I want to be mindful of your time here, because I'm just going to be at this door all night, feeling like a maniac. Um, I really feel like a maniac.
Feel. I feel cuckoo banana nuts. That's what I call
Whew,
it.
that's pretty.
The
That's
cuckoo
pretty
banana
cuckoo.
nuts. Muy
Yeah,
frío.
cuckoo bananas is
Tengo
the
mucho frío.
cuckooist. Yeah, it is pretty cold. It's so cold. It's making me tired. I get really
Mm.
sleepy when I get
You
cold
get
and when I
cold,
drink a
right?
bunch of coffee. Yeah, I get sleepy
You get
when I'm
sleepy from drinking a
cold.
bunch of coffee?
Yeah, it makes me so freaking sleepy, dude.
Hmm. I like the hot chocolate. I want some hot cocoa now. That made me want some hot cocoa. I don't know, but I might just look through here and go through these bags real quick and trying to see what I can do.
How
This
many how many months do you have for Rocco come?
2.
Almost
It's supposed
already
to be
here?
February 20 between 25 and 27. So I'm just
Holy
gonna say
snap,
Thursday.
that's very soon.
Yeah, isn't that fun? I'm not ready, but I'm ready. I'm just.
Mm. Um, I don't have any I don't have any good quips or jokes right now.
um, I have a couple. I have one for
All
you.
right.
Or I have a food for thought for you, right?
Okay, okay.
Okay, so you know how how oh my god, I forgot it. Okay,
There you
give me
go.
a
That's
second.
awesome.
I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
no.
I appreciate that. That's one of the baddest ass things I've ever heard.
I got it. I got it. I got it. Give me a second. I give you a second. I promise. I got you. um, did you know that? Excuse me. Hold on. Oh my god. Where's my?
Good evening, ladies. How you doing tonight? Are you? But it's cold, isn't it? And you'd probably prefer that I hurry up and finish and check your ID so you can go inside, right? No, this is my food because I went to Food Line before I came here.
Food Lion.
I got no. This is okay. Let me see those IDs real quick. Thank you, thank you. Oh, she's military. All right. Now, see, they got this General Tso's chicken. Yeah, and then right around the corner over there. And then look, there's some teriyaki chicken. Yeah, because well, this is actually even half off because like yeah, and then they gave me this inside. They have something in there. They're just trying to make me fat, but it's all good. So I own a gym. By the way, speaking of that, speaking of fighting somebody at a gym, yo, run a kickboxing gym. Y'all should come. I run my look. See this? See look. Powerhouse boxing and kickboxing. Oh. called Powerhouse Boxing Kickboxing. Rosemont in Holland. So the gym is from a famous boxer. Like that was his home gym. But I rent out the space 7 days a week from because his cousin has just a few classes from 5 to 6, 6 to 7, 7 to 8 in the PM. And I'm there from 8 a.m. until 4 p.m. on Monday through Friday, and then 8 to 8 on Saturday and Sunday. But yeah, oh listen, for real. Listen, here's the thing. Oh, you said what? Well, Diego Bispo has a jiu-jitsu gym right across the way, and I just talked to him the other day about doing a partnership where we're going to have workshops where he comes over or we go over there like twice a month or whatever so that people can learn grappling who want to do that because it's not my specialty. I mean, I can choke some people, but I have 129 fights. I mean, I've knocked a bunch of people out, but not everybody. But listen, here's my fantasy world. Just go to the bar, man. Here for DoorDash, right? Yeah. Yeah. So so I'm trying to start the real Dora Milaje. You know what I'm saying? You know who that is, right? Wakanda Forever. All the warrior girls, the warrior women from freaking from Black Panther. All right, listen. Put my number. Yeah, I don't be fighting people though, but I learned the gentleman's art. Yeah, my hands are also frozen. Okay, 757. Oh, I want to be out here because I'll fall asleep if I go in there. 763-9621, and my name is Hakeem, Hakeem, and yeah, just anytime, whatever you need.
Found extras
Well,
for
and what's your
thought for
name?
you.
Alexis and Janine. Alexis and Janine. Janine is all like, I got my pistol. Oh, yeah, yeah. I just got the Glock 19. You Sig? Yeah, Sig is nice. Y'all do. I leave it because I'll be plugging people. I'm just joking. I'm just messing with you. All right, have fun today. Oh man. All right, see, and that's the way the cookie crumbles. Sarah, back to you.
You know how in the
That was just.
you know how in the story it was talking about being in the woods, right?
Yes.
The scariest thing to see while you're camping alone at night isn't a bear. It's a human.
Mm,
Food for thought. And we found that out
yes.
tonight. That's crazy, isn't it?
Yes, we did.
I don't know why
Good
the
evening,
hell I just
miss.
thought about McDonald's.
Those a pink camo. What are you gonna camouflage with that? A box of tricks? Cereal? Have fun.
I'm so done. I cannot.
What? You
He
got
said a
pink
box
camo
of
on.
camo tricks.
A box of tricks.
A box of
Like the
tricks
trick
with the pink
cereal?
camo.
She got pink camo on. I was like, what are you gonna camouflage with that? A box of tricks.
Like how pink was it?
It was very pink. It was like different shades of pink and like so light pink that it looked white. So
You know your body can always feel your clothes, but it chooses not to.
your body can feel your clothes, but it chooses not to. And how come
Yeah,
I
there's lots.
always feel my clothes?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't
Maybe
know.
it's because I don't have skin.
No, no. Maybe it's something else.
How do you know?
You
You
know?
never seen me in person. You've only seen
I don't
videos. How do
know.
you know
I'm just
I'm not putting on an avatar? So, what are you gonna be doing next? Because
um
it's getting late. Uh,
yeah. I'm just gonna
it's 10:30.
go through some stuff and try and I'm gonna build my fort.
Right. Well, you and everybody else in the world should have my number by now because I say it all the time, giving it out to people here, and it's all on public. So if you can text me or whatever, if you're gonna come back, if you're gonna go back online
And you
or
heard
do
it here
something.
tonight, folks, about the Doge, the powerhouse
Yes,
Eric,
Powerhouse
please.
Boxing, Kickboxing in Virginia Beach
Thank you,
on
thank you.
corner of Rosemont and Holland. What? Are you supposed to be on the short venue right there? Venue's right there. Uh, right. Look, that's venue. You see the big sign right there? Yes. It does look like it's closed, but that's because nobody's standing out there. The security is inside. He's not crazy like me. Yeah, standing out in the freaking 40-degree weather out here.
But yeah, I'm just gonna get prepared for tonight and then get prepared for tomorrow, sir.
All right. Well, let me know what's going on. I always
All right.
can use a dose of some kind of life because sure as hell know that I'm fading away into the shadows and the darkness.
You gonna get your fur
I'm gonna go.
going?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. All right, my time's running out. Thanks for
All right.
letting me
Thank
hang
you.
out and for the wonderful read of
Thank you.
Strangers in the Woods. Hi, Sarah. Be well. Talk to you later.
Talk to you later. Love you. Bye. Yes, that was The Stranger in the Woods. And he's if you heard it correctly too, that if you are in the Virginia area, go and get your kickboxing skills done over at the dojo, the Powerhouse Kickboxing Center. I am going to go ahead and build my fort real quick, and so I'm going to get ready for the evening. Hopefully tonight I can actually go to sleep. If I cannot, then I will be back, because that's just how the life works. Life and life more abundant. So I'm going to go ahead and do all my beautiful, wonderful, beautiful soul shout outs. Thank you to Eric and Michelle, Wandering Fool, Curtis James, Jade Orion, Elizabeth McClung, Kiana Light, Anthony Bonham, Danielle Jr., Tanya Ray, Levi, Olu, Alu, Alu. She was fun to talk to. Um, over the Thanksgiving holiday or week too. Danielle Grant, Coletta Carey, the Poetic Phoenix. See, Hakeem, there's a phoenix right there. Yes, well, he did say besides Poetic Carey. Okay, I feel. Love you guys. Love you guys. Love you all. And then we got Stevie, Marcian, Coolio, and D. Jones. Kendrick Avant, Daryl with the dashes, Nye, Truly Julie Arg. Do you know what I mean? Yes. Love you. Mojo, Hakim Ali Bokas Alexander, D. Dayton, Dayton, Ali, Impress Q, Cecilia Grace Miss Kudos, hey girl, and Jenny, Sire J, and Courtney Downs. You guys have been a beautiful, wonderful, loverly audience, and I appreciate you stopping by, coming through, and listening to Storytime with Izzii and Rocco. That was Dark Fairy Tales by the two sisters, and the story was Strangers in the Woods. Now, I am going to sign off for now, and if I cannot sleep, I will come back. Yes, yes. Love you guys. Much love, blessings, and respect. And don't forget, y'all are the best. All right. Talk to you guys later.